Hey guys, Rick Stone here from Stony Acres Gardening. Welcome to my channel. So it's the week between Christmas and New Year's. Not a lot going on in the garden right now, but I've had a few people ask me to share with them my favorite varieties of vegetables to grow. And that list would be really long, but I thought, you know what? Let's do our favorite varieties for 2023 and talk to you guys about what was the most successful vegetables that we grew in 2023. So my wife AJ and I sat down, we put together the list of our favorite top 10 vegetables for 2023. There's some new ones here for us, some oldies as well, but we had an overall really nice year. So let's kind of run through the top 10 of what we did in 2023 that were our favorites. And the first on the list are these beauties. So this is a Beauregard sweet potato. Sweet potatoes are relatively new to us. This is only the third year that we've grown sweet potatoes, and we were super excited to have a very successful year this year. So this was our biggest year by far. Beauregard is a variety that we've grown a couple of times already, and this year it was a hit. So we ended up with about 60 pounds of Beauregard sweet potatoes, and they were just beautiful. So I've included a link. We got them online. I've included a link down for the slips if you want to go check those out. But Beauregard was a really good variety. We're super happy with how long they're storing. We just finished up with our regular potatoes, and now we're starting into the sweet potatoes, and they are tasty and big, and we're really happy with them. So Beauregard was number one on our list for 2023. Number two on our list was a lettuce, and this one was a new one for us this year. It's called Little Jim, and we got the seeds from Honest Seed Company. It's a butter crunch type lettuce that we were really happy with. So has a nice, good, crunchy leaf, little bit of stem to it so that it kind of gives you almost that romaine feel. But the nice thing about Little Jim is that it lasted a long time. So we just planted this one in the spring. We took some transplants and put them out in early March, and then we did it again a little bit later. So we had a good long harvest, and they lasted well into the hotter part of the year. So we ended up being able to harvest Little Jim up until about the 20th of June. We did throw a shade cloth over the top of them to kind of keep the heat off a little bit, but they didn't get bitter. We didn't get any tip burn, and we didn't get any bolting from those plants, and they were able to make it all the way until almost the middle of June, where our temperatures were solidly in the 80s and even the 90s by then. And so we were really happy with them. Again, that variety is called Little Jim, and we got those from Honest Seed Company. The third on the list is also a lettuce, and this is an oldie but goodie, one that we've been growing for about a dozen years now. It's called Nevada, and Nevada is a summer crisp lettuce, which means you can actually grow it in the summertime. So it stands up to bolting, it doesn't get tip burn, and it doesn't get bitter at all. We actually were harvesting Nevada in August this year, and it tasted perfectly fine. It was really good. We got the Nevada seeds from True Leaf Market, but one of the other amazing things about Nevada is it's also very good for the winter time as well. So if you look back here, you can see we've got our cold frames back behind us. We actually still have about a dozen Nevada lettuce plants in these cold frames, and it's almost January. We're still harvesting from them. They're just a good overall solid lettuce that you can use. Maybe not quite as dark as some of the traditional kind of bib lettuces are, but really crispy, really crunchy, and so good in the summer and in the wintertime because it's so hardy. So again, that's Nevada. We got those seeds from True Leaf Market. Number four on our list was raspberries, and the variety of raspberries that we grow here in our garden are Carolines. They are an everbearing variety. We have actually chosen to not treat them as everbearings. We just do a one crop, but if you're interested in learning how to prune them as everbearing so that you get two crops instead of just one, there's a link right up here. You can watch a video that I did on that. But we have found that they're just slightly more productive if you just do a one crop. So we cut them down in the spring, and we start harvesting from them again in early August. They ended up this year just doing so well. We had our second best year ever with raspberries. We measure how good a year is with raspberries based on how many bags, gallon bags of frozen berries we have in our freezer. And this year we ended up with 8 gallons of frozen berries from our little patch. So we are super excited for another good year with the Carolines. Carolines, you should be able to find them pretty much anywhere that sells raspberry starts. Number 5 on our list is a tomato, and this was a new tomato to us. It's called San Marzano, and San Marzanos are an indeterminate Roma type tomato. They're good for sauces, they're good for salsas. We chopped them up and put them in salads. They were just a really good overall tomato. We even canned some of them. Very tasty. We loved the texture of the flesh, and they were very productive. So we started seeing tomatoes from these plants in late July, and they made it all the way up till the frost. We even brought in a few of the larger ones and let them ripen inside after our first frost had happened, and they ripened up and were really tasty. Again, they're an indeterminate, but they weren't out of control crazy on how they grew. We got about 8-foot tall vines, and again, very, very productive, very early. The only tomato that beat them in ripeness was Early Girl. Everybody else was ready after them. And so we were really happy with this new variety. And again, it's called San Marzano, and they're probably not new to a lot of you, but they were really good and something new that we enjoyed this year. You can get those seeds from Honest Seed Company. Next on our list is another seed that we got from Honest Seed Company, and that is Blue Shaman popcorn. So we have grown popcorn for about 15 years now, and the variety we've always grown is called Yellow Holus, and we've always liked that. But this year we decided that we would branch out a little bit and try something different. And so we got these Blue Shaman popcorn from Honest Seed Company, and we were really happy with them. Number one, they were a very attractive plant. We ended up putting them in a couple of hills in our front flower bed. They looked really nice all summer long. They grew tall, so they were about 7 or 8 feet tall, gave us some nice visual look in that flower bed, and then they were very productive. Each one of those stalks gave us about 3 ears per, and so we ended up with about 30 or 40 ears of Blue Shaman popcorn. So really happy with them. It was very productive, fun variety, and the nice thing about this variety is they're also an heirloom, so you can save the seeds and plant them again next year. So again, Blue Shaman popcorn, and we got those from Honest Seed Company and loved them. Next on our list are these beauties. So this is a red Amposta onion, and this is the 2nd or 3rd year that we've grown this variety of onion, but this was a really good year for us. I'm super excited about these, mainly because I grew them from seed myself. So I started these seeds indoors on January 15th. We harvested them in mid-August. Very productive. I wish I'd have grown more because we ended up having about 20 plants, and we probably could have done with some more of them. We still have about a half a dozen of them left here in almost January, and they're holding up in storage. And they're a good, tasty onion, a little bit stronger than maybe what we're used to from a red onion. But the fact that they're lasting longer is also very, very good. So red Amposta is this variety, and we got these seeds from Botanical Interest. Next on our list was not a vegetable. Instead, it was a cover crop, and that is buckwheat. So this was the first year that we have grown buckwheat as a cover crop. We had a bed that we had about a 6-week time frame where it was not going to be planted during the summer. We had finished our peas there, and that was going to be where our fall carrots went. And so we decided, let's put a cover crop in. And so we tried buckwheat. It was up and blooming in about 30 days. And the thing that really made us love this cover crop is it was just tremendous in attracting pollinators into our garden. So this little bed of buckwheat was just loaded with dozens of different varieties of bees and pollinating wasps and butterflies, and they just loved buckwheat. And so we're actually going to try to incorporate a small patch of buckwheat into our garden every year, just for the very fact that it attracts those beneficial pollinators so much. And so buckwheat is a great one to grow. We got our buckwheat seeds from True Leaf Marketplace. They're ready in about 40 days. They're in full bloom, and so a great crop for you to grow as a cover crop and to attract pollinators into your garden. Number 9 on our list is sugar snap peas. And we've grown peas for the whole time we've been gardening. 28 years ago, one of the very first plants that we put in our garden was peas. But this year was literally our best year ever for sugar snap peas. So sugar snap peas are the type that you can eat the entire pod and the pea inside. They're great for stir fries. They're great for eating fresh with hummus. We love them, and we just had an amazing crop this year. The weather conditions were just right. We planted about 6 rows. I think had we planted just a little bit more, we might have been overwhelmed, but we ended up having just a really nice crop. For about 4 weeks, we had all the sugar snap peas that we could eat, both fresh and cooked, and it was amazing. So we loved those sugar snap peas. And again, the variety is just sugar snap, and we got those from True Leaf Market. Number 10 on the list is cucumbers, and I'm happy to have cucumbers back on my list of things that are our favorite thing to grow in a year, because we had 2 or 3 years where we did not have very good luck with cucumbers. We tried a few different varieties that were new to us, and they just didn't do as well. And so for the last 2 years, we've come back to our old favorite, which is Marketmore cucumbers. You can get Marketmore in a lot of places. We picked ours up from True Leaf Market. They're a good, solid, open pollinated variety that did really well for us this year. In fact, this was one of our best cucumber years ever. We only had about 6 plants total. We grew them on our cattle panel trellis, and they did really well there. We got our first harvest about the 20th of July, and we ended up harvesting all the way through to our first frost, which was about the 25th of October. I literally went outside the night before our first frost and pulled the last half dozen cucumbers off of the plant. And so we had just an amazing year. Weather conditions were really good for us this year. We didn't have a ton of days over 100 degrees this summer. We had a few, but not nearly as many as we do some years. And so it was a little bit cooler, and we just had a great year of very good tasting, yummy, very productive cucumbers. And so we were really happy with our cucumbers this year. And again, the variety that we grew was called Marketmore. So that's our top 10 favorites for 2023. Hopefully you guys enjoyed listening to this video. We're excited for 2024. We've got a lot of fun things happening. I'm planning on trying a few new experiments with some new crops. So we're going to try some ginger and some turmeric, both of which are a little bit tricky to grow in Utah. So we're going to see what we can do with those. A lot of fun things happening in 2024. So I would encourage you, if you haven't already done so, to make sure you get subscribed to our channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And before you go, we're getting excited about seed starting. So seed starting season for us begins in just a few weeks, and I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that our seed starting workshop, we're going to be doing that again this year. Our date this year is it will be starting on February 12th. So if you would like to join the seed starting workshop, it's an 8-day workshop where I give you about a half an hour's worth of videos every day teaching you a little bit about seed starting and how to grow your own seedlings indoors. It's a fun workshop. Last year we had over 275 people that participated. We would love to have you join us this year. There's a link right up here or down in the description of this video that you can click on where you can go sign up for the wait list. And if you get your name on the wait list, that gives you an opportunity to know exactly when this workshop will go on sale. And so I'd encourage you to get signed up for that wait list. So click up here or down in the description below to join that wait list and learn more about seed starting. All right, that, my friends, is all I have for you for this week and this year. So hopefully you guys have a great 2023 year end and a happy new year. We will see you in 2024. Thank you for all your support here on the channel, and we will talk to you later. Happy gardening.